one thing that you wish you had known when you were younger entering this industry? Like, it could be something that you realized through
Yeah.
college and up to
I
doing what
guess
you
the
do now.
business part of it,
Mm-hmm.
because like we got so caught up with the idea of being a creative and like the idea of designing, but to run your own studio, it requires a lot of business understanding, which you're not really trained for in
Absolutely
school,
not.
right? So like profit margins, ROI, overhead, tax, all those things you learn by doing, and that's a very costly way of learning, right? So I mean the idea of LHDN was so foreign to me, right? I pay my taxes in that area, but yeah, the business aspect of it was not something that I sort of anticipated. And when
Mm.
it hit me, that what I'm trying to do is it has to be profitable, it has to be financially sustainable, then those are things I sort of like have to learn. Oh, okay, whilst I'm also trying to hone my creative skills,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So it brings the question: are you a designer first or a businessman first?
mm-hmm.
Especially when you run your own studio.
So after 5 years, where do you put yourself at?
Still don't know. I'm still figuring it out. Yeah.
Before you started this business, then, have you, what sort of experience that you had before?
Well, I mean, I've been running my own design for
Mm,
10 years.
mm,
Okay, but Studio 3 has been around for 5 years,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, I've been following you since then.
Yeah,
Huh?
thanks, man. And
Since Pantai Hill
yeah,
Park.
yeah, man, yeah. No, well, that was a different
Yeah, that was
studio.
a.
That was before Studio 3.
Oh,
So I called it Studio 3 because it's the third studio that
yeah.
I built, right? And I mean, I worked with a different partner before.
Mm-hmm,
I worked at a construction firm before,
mm-hmm,
and then but it was quick ones, like a year plus, and I did quite a long internship at a very prestigious architecture firm. That's where I really got like a taste of what this industry is.
mm,
During my degree, I did like 6 months, and then I did an extra 3 months because I really liked the projects that we worked on. But it's a very the company that I worked at um, was very tough.
mm-hmm,
It's considered to be one of the toughest. But that's where really I sort of had this like really like how do you say, like decision, like crossroad, like because it was really tough. It made
mm-hmm,
me like I don't want to do this anymore,
mm-hmm,
and I was just doing my internship,
mm-hmm,
right? But it sort of made me ask myself, like, you sure you want to do this, like design? Are you sure you want to like pursue interior architecture? Because this is the life.
mm-hmm,
So what like sort of like sparked in my head was like, okay, I love the industry. I just don't like this company because of the work culture. So what if I start my own practice?
mm-hmm,
And that was how I've sort of inception myself into like, okay, down the road, the goal is to start my own practice. So whatever I navigated, there was that subconscious idea that okay, eventually I'll start my own practice. So whilst I was working, I did a little freelance, and then okay, slowly let go of the company, and then the freelance became a real company, and then ventured into a partnership, and the partnership didn't work. Next thing you know, like I left that partnership, and I started Studio 3. So that was 5 years ago, and that was when I was like sort of comfortable in my skin as a designer.
mm-hmm.
I find that okay, I think I have a voice, at like 28 years old, 27 years old, after like 7 years of trying things out. So now it's just I'm still figuring things out, but I think the keyword is more comfortable. Like I see
Mm,
myself as a designer now.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, I
mm-hmm.
think a lot of designers always have like a chip on their shoulder, like, am I the best? Am I good? And then you see all this because we have so much talent in KL,